Starting with coffee this time, not weed. Strawberry of the day, episode 2. My strawberry of the day today is starting. Literally just starting. I have been a little under the weather for like 4 or 5 days now, to the point where I haven't wanted to go to the gym, partially just to be a nice person and not spread my germs. But it's like 7:30 on a Sunday. Don't usually go to the gym on Sunday, but I need to get back to it because the fear of starting is starting to build up a little bit. And I think that that's a pattern in my life that has stopped me from doing a lot of things, is the fear of starting. And like, it's the gym, I know I'm going to get back to it. But even after a short break, I feel like the barrier to entry of doing the thing again just gets harder. And I felt that way about making videos too. For a while, on the Professional Yappers podcast channel, I'm going to plug it every single time I do this. We were making like vlogs in addition to podcast episodes. And each time I would put off starting it, it would just build up to be a bigger and bigger task, and then I would start working on it. And like on an individual level, I learned this over every single time, that the video would be so much easier once I just like got into it. But in the big picture, I stopped. We stopped doing the vlogs. We stopped. And that's just one thing that I have started and stopped because I've let the fear of having to start the thing build up. Like I went too long without making a vlog, and I let it turn into a bigger beast than it was. So that's my philosophy on starting. Like you can't let things turn into something more than they are. A. And B, you can't let the fear of not finishing something to the degree of performance, completion, excellence, whatever it is in your head, stop you from starting. Because once you get in the habit of starting, then you'll be able to get into the habit of like actually completing what you're working on. But you're never going to get anywhere if you don't take the initial step. Kind of what I was talking about yesterday, how it feels uncomfortable to do something for the first time. Like my journal is still sitting in here. And I remember writing the first page and thinking, okay, well, I've got this much left of the journal that's empty. I'm going to have to like feel like I'm starting this every single day. But over time, a start every day, like, it adds up. And so today, I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to go alone. My girlfriend's not going, and my friends aren't going, because it's Sunday. We should be resting, but I know myself, and I know that I'll be overwhelmed if I kick back to it on a Monday. And I don't have the intention of having the best workout of my life. I have the intention of being aware of my mind-muscle connection with everything I'm doing. I have the intention of enjoying being back in that environment after not being there for a few days. I have the intention of starting to wear my Apple Watch after 2 weeks off of that, actually, because we had a little bit of a crisis in our friend group. We're like, we are so dependent on these fitness devices. So we took some time off, but I'm going to start with that again. And like, it's okay to start something knowing that you might stop it again. A habit, a new system, a new routine, like whatever it is that you're trying to make work for yourself, it's okay to stop if you know that you're the kind of person that will start again. Like, it's not okay to consistently quit something if you know you're not going to try again out of fear of it not being perfect, whatever, perfectionism, analysis paralysis, whatever it is. But you can't be afraid of starting, because the time will pass anyway. That's my catchphrase. The time will pass anyway, and a start tomorrow is less valuable than a start today, because if you start today, you can learn from what you did. Like, I've been posting on Instagram for a month now, and on my fitness Instagram. I've been posting on regular Instagram for 10 plus years, which is ridiculous, like, that apps have been around that long. But anyway, I felt like my grid looked ridiculous with like 4 posts, because I've started other Instagram accounts before. I've had like other little side projects. I've had things with friends, and I was like, wow, we're really back here. We're really at like the stupid, I've posted 4 times, no one's going to take me seriously. I'm just starting. Like, literally, I'm in a new relationship, and I weirdly feel this way about my relationship. Like, I'm just starting, no one's taking me seriously, but you have to be willing to start for someone to take you seriously one day. Like, nobody gets married to someone without having met them and dated them for a month. Like, nobody has 100,000 followers without once having 100 followers. We all know this, but it comes back to the resilience of like being willing to start, being willing to be a beginner, and not seeing yourself as less than for trying, for wanting, and for pursuing, even when there's no proof that anything you're doing is working. Like, also, can we just define what is success? What is proof? What is working? No matter what your goal is, whether that is to lose weight, gain muscle, grow on social media, get into a relationship, strengthen your current relationships, there really isn't like ever going to be a day where you go, got it, done. Because there'll be check-ins, don't get me wrong, there'll be milestones. I remember when I hit my initial goal weight, I was like, yes. But then the next day I was like, okay, what's my next goal? And I just had to start again. Sometimes the starting happens after a success. Like, you have to start over after you succeed. I feel like we're starting over on the podcast right now, because we just hit 1K followers like last week. We're like 1,500 now. And I'm like, oh God, I have to start learning how to podcast with an audience in mind, and not just like my sister and maybe my dad listening. Like, I have to start a new mindset. So that's what I'm on about today, is starting. It's also the start of September is tomorrow. I'm starting this project. And I'm knowing that there's a duality that exists, that is, it's okay to start, it's okay to stop. But it's also, you have to know when you're stopping because you're afraid of what will happen if you continue, versus when you're stopping because you feel uncomfortable because you're pushing yourself, or it's just something that you haven't, like, that's not the reason to stop ever. Re-regulate yourself. Regulate your nervous system, get in touch with what your body wants, with what your mind wants, and take the first step. Literally, there is no one who has ever started anything who hasn't, like, blank page. It's the only way you're gonna get there. Start the thing. Have a good day. Strawberry of the Day, episode 2. Like and subscribe. I'll figure it out.